Today, we are doing my first half MVPs of the Major League Baseball season. For today's episode, we are doing the American League, and we will have the National League coming up next. So starting things off with the Athletics, we have Brent Rooker. So far this year, Brent Rooker batting .279 with a .355 OBP, a .505 slugging, and an .860 OPS. Down from last year, but however, still has 20 home runs. Here's his Savant page right here. 92nd percentile in XWOBA, expected batting average, the same 92nd percentile, as well as batting run value. He is driving in runs this year overall as well. Some backup guys I had in my head as well for MVP, however, are Tyler Soderstrom, Nick Kurtz, and Jeffrey Springs. Moving on to the Baltimore Orioles, I have Ryan O'Hearn. This has been a very weird year for the Orioles. I think a lot of people were expecting them to be better than what they are. So far, O'Hearn has really been the main bright spot, and he's the key piece to the trade deadline this year, I think, for a lot of teams. Batting .286, .382 OBP, a .458 slugging, and an .840 OPS, 11 home runs. He's probably going to finish with a career best in his home runs this year. He's already about there. His OPS is looking very good as well. Here's his expecting batting average of a 95th percentile. His expected batting average is .298. He's currently batting .286, so he's about where he's supposed to be. Batting run value good, fielding run value good. He's not really going to provide you much on the bases, but still very good walk percentage, very good hard hit. My backups for the Orioles, however, were Gunnar Henderson and Felix Bautista. And Bautista's been a guy that people are wondering, will they trade or not? It's been a down year for Adley Rutschman. I was as well thinking about putting Jackson Holliday on my honorable mentions, but I just wanted to stick with the two of Henderson and Felix Bautista. Moving on to the Boston Red Sox, I'm really happy about this one because this was my preseason Cy Young pick for the American League. It is Garrett Crochet. He is having a monster year, even better than what he was with the Chicago White Sox. A 2.23 ERA, a 1.04 whip, 10-4 record, 160 strikeouts, a pitching run value in the 99th percentile, as well as the breaking run value, so the breaking balls are doing very well for him this year. Strikeout rate of 91st percentile, 31.2, and expected ERA in the 91st percentile of 2.83. He is outperforming his expected ERA right now at a 2.23. My other options for the Red Sox were Wilyer Abreu, Cedane Rafaela, and Aroldis Chapman. As well, I do want to give a shout out to Alex Bregman as well, who has been injured for a bit. He did just come back. I think if Alex Bregman didn't go on the injured list for a while, he has a chance to win this MVP for the Red Sox. But still, I am rolling with Garrett Crochet. What a pickup he has been for Boston. Moving on to the Chicago White Sox, I have their lone all-star Shane Smith, a guy who was a Rule 5 pick. So it's cool to see him make the All-Star game. His Savant page isn't going to look the greatest compared to all these other guys in this series just because the White Sox are not having the greatest year. His pitching run value is -3, but he's ranked 30th. But his fastball run value, that is what is playing this year. A 4.26 ERA, 1.3 whip for him. This is like, he's their only all-star. So I think it's kind of a shoo-in for the MVP or the White Sox. Not really much to add besides honorable mention was Sean Burke. I was very close to putting Andrew Benintendi in this category as well. Luis Robert was probably the shoe-in pick for a lot of people, but he is not having a great year. So Shane Smith is your pick. Moving on to the Cleveland Guardians, I have Jose Ramirez. Now, Jose Ramirez was my preseason American League MVP pick. I feel stupid for that in doubting Aaron Judge. I just wanted to be different there, but batting run value, 96th percentile. Expected batting average, 92nd percentile. K rate, really good, 95th percentile. He's only striking out 11% of the time, 11.3% of the time to be exact. A 295 average, a 363 OBP, a 506 slugging, and an 869 OPS. Jose Ramirez is having another great year. I think it's definitely at a slower pace, I would say, when it comes to the home runs compared to last year. He almost had a 40-40-40 last year with 40 stolen bases, 40 home runs, 40 doubles, came up shy of the doubles and homers. But yeah, currently at 18 home runs. I don't think he's going to get up to 39 this year. It would be cool, though. He would have to have a really monster type of second half to do that. But Jose Ramirez is my Guardians MVP. My runners-up for the honorable mentions were Gavin Williams, Cade Smith, and Emmanuel Clase. Stephen Kwan was as well possibly in this, but I wanted to just give this the pitching staff in the honorable mentions. For the Detroit Tigers, I don't think it's that much of a shock that the best team in the league is going to have Tarek Skubal as my pick for their MVP. What's interesting is I brought up in Garrett Crochet's that if it wasn't for another guy, he's probably the Cy Young. Both of them had the same ERA, 2.23. However, Skubal's striking out guys too. 153 Ks, 19 starts, a 10-3 record. Like I said, a 2.23 ERA, a whip of .83. He is allowing, that is, less than a base runner per inning. Very good. Pitching run value, 100th percentile. Off-speed run value, 100th percentile. It's the greatest in baseball. expected ERA and all this, all in the 90s. I mean, there's not really much to add about Tarek Skubal other than that he's been nothing short of amazing this year. He's putting in a very strong bid to be a 2-time back-to-back Cy Young winner in the American League. He's been a key piece of this Tigers team, too. My honorable mentions for MVP, however, are going to be Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, who's having a great year this year, in my opinion, and Gleyber Torres, who's having an even better year than I think what a lot of people expected for his first year out of the New York Yankees. Gleyber Torres, Riley Green, all going to be in the All-Star game. Tarek Skubal also starting the All-Star game. This has been a great year for the Tigers. They have a lot of MVP candidates, but if it wasn't for them having Tarek Skubal, these other guys would have a chance to be my MVP pick. But Tarek Skubal was the way to go. I think it was a simple pick here. Moving on to the Houston Astros, I have Hunter Brown, starting pitcher, a 2.43 ERA, 9-4 record, 137 strikeouts, a whip under 1 at .96, pitcher run value 98th percentile, very good, fastball run value as well up there at 96, breaking run value 91st, off speed kind of iffy, but he's trusting these pitches right here, 95th percentile and average exit velo. The batters just aren't hitting the ball as hard off of them. Hard hit percentage, they're not hitting it hard as well. K rate, he's striking out a lot of guys. Really good this year. Hunter Brown was a great pick for MVP this year for the Astros. However, they do have a couple other guys who are really close. Another comparable pitcher that I have in my honorable mentions is Framber Valdez. And then I also have Jeremy Pena, Isaac Paredes, and you could also include Jose Altuve in there. Moving on to the Kansas City Royals, I have Bobby Witt Jr. The Royals are having a very weird year this year, but however, they're still kind of in this little wild card limbo, I would say. Bobby Witt Jr., though, is my MVP of the Royals. Batting run value 90th percentile, base running value 98th, fielding run value 99th. He's been great in the field, great in the base paths as well. 98th percentile and expected batting average of 309. Currently, he is at a 294, so his expected stats are a lot better than his current ones. A 294 average so far this season, a 345 OBP, a 504 slugging, and an 849 OPS, 14 home runs, 25 stolen bases. I'm kind of surprised the stolen bases aren't higher than what they are right now. He kind of had he's kind of for some reason been flying under the radar when it comes to like the main MVP talks. It's been Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh, which I made about him in a video, my last video that it was. But Bobby Witt Jr. is having an MVP caliber season, in my opinion. He's probably going to be a top 3 MVP candidate, I would say. For my honorable mentions for the Royals, I have Maikel Garcia, who's having a very, very under-the-radar type of season, and 2 members of their great pitching staff this year, Seth Lugo and Chris Bubich. But Bobby Witt Jr. is my pick for Royals MVP. For the LA Angels, I'm going with Taylor Ward. Like you see here, it's another very odd-looking Savant page, but he's hitting 224 this year. The average isn't really there. 297 OBP, 468 slugging, but the 765 OPS kind of stick out. But he's also hitting the long ball. 21 home runs so far this season. Like I said, the Savant page, you're not going to like it compared to the other guys I have in the honorable mentions of the Angels probably, as well as some other guys on this list. But Taylor Ward's having a very under-the-radar season. I think if the average is a little bit higher, he's a shoo-in for this. I was very close to picking, but I'll say this right here. The honorable mentions were Joe Adell, Zach Neto, and the guy before both of those, I had Yusei Kikuchi, who's having a great year this year. I went with the bat here just because the long ball for Taylor Ward's been his key point of his game this year. But Yusei Kikuchi, I see that argument as well. He's been a great addition for the Angels. My pick, however, I'm going Ward just because of the bat. It was a very tough pick for the LA Angels, to say the least. I might get some slack for this one, so let it be known down below. Moving on to the Minnesota Twins, I have Joe Ryan. He's having a great year, 2.72 ERA, a whip of under 1 of .91. He was also under 1 last year at .99, so he's outperforming last year. 9-4 record, 121 strikeouts, 95th percentile in pitching run value. In fastball run value, that is 99th percentile. His chase rate isn't really that good, but his K rate as well as his walk rate has been really decent. My backup honorable mentions for the Twins have been Johan Duran, Lewis Varland, and Byron Buxton, who just hit a cycle against my Buccos this past weekend. It was fun to watch. But the Twins are also having one of those weird hovering around 500 seasons, so it's going to be very intriguing to see what the Twins do at the trade deadline. But Joe Ryan is my pick for the Twins. No surprise here, my pick for the New York Yankees is Aaron Judge, a 355 average, out of this world, 462 OBP, amazing, 733 slugging, amazing. His OPS is still hovering around 1200s, it's at 1,195. Aaron Judge is just having a historic season, 35 home runs, 100th percentile in XWOBA, 100th in expected slugging, average exit velo, barrel rate, 99th in hard hit, 98th in walk percentage. People are walking him a lot. 98th percentile in bat speed, 100th in batting. Or like it, Aaron Judge is having a great year. There's no explaining who could beat him for Yankees MVP. Besides, like my backups are Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, and Cody Bellinger. And I will say, if you play fantasy baseball and you don't, no one in your league for some reason has Cody Bellinger, pick him up. But yeah, my honorable mentions are Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, and Cody Bellinger. They're all having great years, but it's Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has just been amazing this year, so Judge is my pick. Another not shocking pick is my Seattle Mariners MVP. It's going to be Cal Raleigh. Right now, Raleigh is 38 home runs, leads the American League, 376 OBP, 259 average, 634 slugging, and a 1,010 OPS. He is having by far the greatest season of his career. He's probably going to break the catcher home run record held by Salvador Perez. Like I said earlier in this video, I made a video comparing Raleigh and Judge's cases for MVP, so make sure to go check that out after you're done watching this. Batting run value 100th percentile, 90th in XWOBA, 96th percentile in expected slugging at a 569. He's outperforming that. Barrel rate 98th, 96th percentile in walk rate. He's walking just like Judge. Cal Raleigh's been amazing this year. My honorable mentions for Mariners MVP are Brian Wu, Andres Munoz, and Randy Arozarena. Moving on. The Tampa Bay Rays were a tough one, in my opinion. I went with Jonathan Aranda just because he's hitting .324. He's having a great under-the-radar season. I feel like not a lot of people were talking about Aranda so much. He was my all-star vote for first base, by the way, so I think he should have got that job. But .324 average, .399 OBP, .492 slugging, and .891 OPS. You're looking at a spray chart. Maybe this has to do with playing in the spring training field, but I mean, I'm not going to count it against him. He's having a great year. 94th in batting run value, 21 over there. XWOBA, 95th percentile, 96th percentile in expected batting average of 305. Hard hit rate, launch angle, sweet spot as well, very good. Jonathan Aranda is my pick. However, Junior Caminero, Brandon Lau, and Yandy Diaz are all my honorable mentions. I think the Rays are just having one of these seasons that a lot of people weren't really expecting them to. I thought they were probably going to be in like little wild card hunt, but they are making a case to maybe win the American League East. They're having a very, very good year. Sure, you might be able to say, oh, it's the stadium, but like you can't just like discount that against what they're doing. They are looking really good this year. So I'm going with Jonathan Aranda. For the Texas Rangers, I'm going with Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom is having a, right now, healthy season. I think we all hope he's going to continue to be healthy this year. This is the best he's been since he's joined the Rangers because he's been healthy enough. 19 games, all 19 starts. Very good to see. 2.32 ERA, 9-2 record, a .91 whip, 113 strikeouts, 99th in pitching run value and percentile-wise, 100th percentile in breaking run value, 94th in fastball. Very solid pitching numbers down here. This is the Jacob deGrom you see when fully healthy. I think baseball fans just love to see when Jacob deGrom is healthy. It sucks to see him go out almost every year, what it's seen, especially since he's left the Mets. It's been a very weird start to his Rangers career, but when he's been healthy with the Rangers, he's been very dominant. This is a very big piece to what the Rangers have right now. This is a key piece of their rotation. It was a great signing. Sure, he's 37 years old and the injury concerns are still an issue, but Jacob deGrom, you love to see him being healthy. This is a guy you just can't root against. He's very fun to follow. My honorable mentions for Rangers MVP are Nathan Eovaldi, who as well is having a great year, Tyler Mahle, great year, and Wyatt Langford. I was very lenient as well with including Corey Seager, so I'll just include him here as well. He had an early season injury, not as many games played, so I'll just say those are my 4 honorable mentions. Finally, for the Toronto Blue Jays, I have George Springer. Now, George Springer these last few weeks has just gone on fire. He has a 270 average, 363 OBP, 490 slugging, and 853 OPS, 16 home runs, 11 stolen bases. He could have a sneaky 2020 season that I wasn't really expecting him to have this year, but he's been hovering around that the last couple seasons. This is one of his better years we've seen lately for George Springer. He's been very good this season, in my opinion. 93rd in batting run value, 84th in base running value. I know we haven't really discussed that much this year, but he's providing that on the base pass. XWOBA 93rd, 94th in expected slugging, 93rd in launch sweet angle. It's kind of interesting. Look at this. Savannah kind of goes up, down, and like lowest it gets is this whiff rate. His strikeout percentage is well kind of league average, but he's doing great in the walks, the chasing, launch angle spot, barrel rate. He's hitting the ball hard. Even though it's a 67th percentile here, but he's making barrel rate. And I think that's what matters. But yeah, George Springer's having a great year. He is a key piece to what this Blue Jays team has done. They have probably been my surprise of the season. I thought they were going to be probably around 500 fighting for a wild card spot. Right now, they're fighting for the American League East Championship, which is just crazy. My honorable mentions for the Blue Jays are Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Chris Bassett, and Jose Barrios. Thank you all for watching my American League MVP picks for the first half. Hope you all enjoyed them. If you don't agree with some of them, because I feel like the Angels one might be a little bit controversial with Joe Adell and Yusei Kikuchi, make sure to comment down below. Let me know what I got wrong. Let me know what I missed, or let me know what you agreed with me. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Leave a like on the video as well. And make sure to tune in. Turn on your post notifications, because I'll be having the National League one out in a little bit, probably tomorrow. So make sure to watch that when it comes out. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.